Welcome to Not a Drama, Just Tech and No Drama. So I thought to do a quick video about this sim rig. It's just a very cheap option that you find on FK Automotive, a German website, and is already cheap in itself at 200 euro, but is fairly recently constantly going through some kind of discounts, and that is the exact sim rig that I bought for myself a while ago. So I have this for a while already, and you know, it's at a very attractive price. Now the question is it any good for that price? I'm going to cut it short and telling you, if you can afford anything better and pay roughly 3 times this amount, around 300 euro, you have much more choice for something that is more likely going to be more future proof and a little bit more solid. However, if you are on a budget or you prefer to maximize your money either on the software or wheels, you may consider this. So it's not great, right? But it's 110 euro. Also, this is going to be shipped from Germany, and for Ireland, where I'm based, they're actually charging you 20 euro for shipping with DHL, so a trackable carrier, and 20 euro is not too bad with an estimated shipment of 2 to 5 days. So what you get with this? Well, you get this Fox leather seat, and we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about the seat, and you get obviously the frame. Now let's have a look about the frame itself. I also took footage that I will put through of the actual rig. So to start with, the main concern you may have about this frame is that the actual pedal plate and the wheel attachment are all dependent on this lower frame here. So you can lose these screws here and move closer the wheel to you, but by doing that also the pedals are going to go close to you. So there is no a real independent adjustments of pedals and wheel, if not for these two guys here, which will allow to actually extrude the wheel higher. So what you're going to do is, you see here you have 1, 2 and 3 options to actually change the angle of the steering columns, let's say. So by lowering this down, you put the wheel more close to you. However, it's also going low, so then you can pull it up to move it more closer to your chest. It's not great though. It's very hard to find a comfortable position. I have some sort of comfortable position, best compromise I can, but it's quite a pain to find the right tuning. Also, let's talk about one of the most important points, which is how sturdy it is. At the moment I'm using it with a Logitech G29. I actually have a Fanatec CSL Elite on its way, and I will make an update. I could make an update video on how it's handling with that wheel. But at the moment I'm using a Logitech G29. It's coming pre-drilled for the Logitech G29, and there are other holes patterns on the top that I believe will make it compatible with Trustmaster. It's not though compatible with the CSL Elite from Fanatec. I had to drill the metal for that myself. So what we're saying is about how sturdy it is. Well, it's not really sturdy at all. I think it's a bit about a combination of have soldering here in this area to where these columns are attached, plus this system here to extrude it up and down. If you don't tie this very strongly, it's adding a lot of up and down movement to your wheel, and the quality of the metal is pretty poor, and especially the paint job. So by adjusting this, sliding it up and down and tightening the screw, you can see in my rig already there are quite heavy signs of usage, and is quite scratched just for the different time I was trying to pull it up and down. And then you can see how much flimsy it is, almost to the verge of being unusable. So what I did, I find out that if you lean it towards something, in my case the leg of my desk, and I put something soft in between the leg of the desk and the actual rig, then it's becoming fairly sturdy. Be sure as well that you tied in these screws so you reduce the vertical movement, and so it's, you know, acceptable. I'll be curious to see with the CSL Elite if, you know, it still can cope with it. I think ideal will be if you can lean these against the wall and even maybe screw one of the arm against the wall. Now I'm running these on the second hole, so these are actually leaning forward a bit. That may also make it worse, probably if you are able to, if you're tall and you're able to keep it on the first position upright, maybe not as bad, but you know, it's not the sturdiest rig in the world, but again, it's 110 euro. Then you're going to have the plate for the wheels is actually some sort of acrylic plastic. I had as well to drill the holes for the CSL Elite pedals that are on the way. Its camper drill for the Logic G29 pedals are fitting fine. However, you see here these two white spots, those are rivets. So the pedal plate is connected through a tube and two screws here and here on the other side. So you see here there's the two rivets and there is a tube going in there. So what it means is that the whole pedal plate is actually moving up. Now this is not great either, because with a lot of brake pressure you may actually lift the plate. The idea is that with the weight of your leg for the throttle, you're going to be able to kind of like compensate and try to prevent the plate to lift, but the plate may lift and it may go to lift. It would have been great if they allowed you to actually clamp this down as well on this metal bar, for example, something like that. Plus, I'm not a big fan of the fact that these are riveted, because it means again that you cannot actually adjust the placement of the pedals at all, and you will have to move the whole rig back and forth and squeezing through this, but then again your wheel will be close to you as well. So it's not the greatest part. Probably this is one of the weakest part of the rig. We'll see how it will work once I put the CSL pedal, and I will have to kind of like reconfigure a little bit how I'm sitting, because the pedals are also reaching farther away. It's coming with 8 fits. This is good because these fits are plastic fits, nothing super fancy. However, you can screw them in and out, so it's fairly easy to balance it, even if you don't have a straight floor, like in my case. I'm able to make it quite level, so that's good, that you have pretty much a good amount of adjustment there. Now let's focus on the seat itself. So there are a few pictures here that the seat is looking decent. I mean, it's not great, but it doesn't look too bad. However, the main bad thing is that, as you can see, there's zero adjustability, because you can lose this screw here and on the other side, but again, that just means that the whole seat is actually sliding again towards the wheels and towards the pedals at the same time. You just have 2 screws here and 2 screws on the other side to bolt this in. Here is soldered, so everything is soldered, so there's no actually sliding. However, you can, for as low as 21 euro, get a rail adjustment if you want to. And the seat itself, the feature he has is that it's foldable to save space. It doesn't really save much space, to be honest. I think it makes more sense for the packaging. Yeah, you can slide it down maybe under a desk or something, but anyway, you will be limited by the fact that you have the wheel coming out here. So yeah, the materials is looking decent, I mean, for what you pay for. It's Fox leather. The main concern probably will be that you may sweat a little bit, and also the bottom is there's not much padding, and it is doing quite like a funny squeaky noise when you sit on it. And there is not much padding on the back. You can see here when I open it up there is very few padding. Also, you need to be aware with the seat. You know, in the instruction, it's not telling you that you have these two additional metal tubular piece that needs to be put on the back of the seat to prevent the back of the seat to slide too much on the back. So those metal frames that I put there on the back are actually holding this a little bit straight. Without those, this will go even more down, and basically will create a very weird situation here for your back. It will like kill your back and will be super uncomfortable. So be sure that you actually put in those two tubular metal pieces to keep it straight, and then is comfortable enough. I had like sessions of 2 hours or even more driving, and that was fine. It's not the most comfortable seat in the world. It's not crazy bad though. You can fit some pillow here if you want, although they may slide a little bit, so but you know, you may find your way. The thing also is a little bit annoying. You won't be able to rest your head against this, at least that is my case. I'm going to go like too much leaning on the back, and there's no adjustability as well on the back, but again, it's 110 euro. Then we can talk about shifter. So for the shifter also it's pretty bad. What I don't like is as well here that the nut is on the opposite direction, so it's not looking that nice and that clean. You can put a shifter though on this side or on the other side. There are two pretty little holes, and the bad thing is that although it's pre-drilled probably for mostly, let's say, the Thrustmaster shifter, the Logitech G29 shifter is not going to be able to put through with screws. However, there is a little piece of metal there at the bottom to just allow you just fine to put the Logitech G29 desk mount is actually going to work for the shifter. You need to be sure that you tie it very well and you make the dents of the clamps on the front really be aligned with the metal there, and screw it all the way in with a clamp in the middle to make it sturdy enough. However, it happened to me that the shifter was just ending up in my hand during some driving session. What else? For the steering wheel, you can adjust the angle. You have a little bit of adjustment here with the cutout, and that's about it. So this is the review that I have of the rig. I will put here and there the footage of me actually driving to see that, you know, it's doing its job. Would I recommend this sim rig? Well, as I said, only if you're really tight with money and you cannot afford anything else. It's still better than a chair and a desk, but you know, barely better than that. If you can spend around 300-400 euro, you're going to find something that's much better, but you're talking 3 times the money. So for 110 euro, it's fine, but I wouldn't say I suggest you to actually buying it. Be fully aware of the compromises. I found very few videos showing you how to assemble it and stuff, but it's easy enough. The instructions are pretty clear, except for the fact that they're not saying you about the seat on the back and the tubular pieces, which are kind of like an important piece, so remember that. It comes in different color configurations, and again, for the price, it may be worth it for you to consider it, but I strongly suggest it to look something better if you can afford it. I hope this video was somewhat helpful to you. If it was, please, even if you won't consider to ever come back here, just click the subscribe button to help me out with the channel. I'm not posting it often, so I'm not going to pester your YouTube feed. And what can I say, guys? Happy racing, happy gaming, and see you in the next one.